We challenge ourselves every day to live our lives with purpose. We love this land and we'll take a stand. We're devoted in our service. Wake up to the rising sun. Stay up until the job gets done. Be bold, courageous, completely selfless. Live all out to fulfill our dreams. Pushing it to extremes. There's only one way for us to live. We go all out until there's nothing left to give. A life of service is a life worth living. We find our strength in the joy of giving. Wake up to the rising sun. Stay up until the job gets done. Go all out, leave it all on the line. Earning to live, living to...
Job interview etiquette is probably one of the biggest deals in the job interview, and that's because of the reason that first impressions are such a big deal, especially with judges. If you go in there with a very positive attitude, they're more likely to remember you. So when you go into the competition, there's going to be 2 judges in the room, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to wait until the judge is ready for you, and when they are, you'll walk in very confidently, you'll shake their hand firmly, and you want to make sure it's not like too loose or too firm, because then that can make it kind of awkward. But basically what you're going to do is the first thing you're going to say is, "Hi, I'm Sam," or "Hi, I'm Jalen," or "Hi, I'm everybody." But then you're going to introduce yourself, and eventually after that, if they haven't asked you to sit, say, "May I sit?" And then they'll say yes, and then you'll sit. And the first thing you want to remember is like your posture. So instead of sitting, kind of in your chair, just kind of like chill, you want to be up, you want to have your hands like crossed like in front of on your desk, because it's more like a big table is actually what it is. And you'll have your resume and your cover letters with you at that time, and you'll hand the judges them as well when you shake their hand. So you'll shake their hand and say, "Hi, I have a copy of my resume and cover letter," and you hand it to them. And then basically they will start probably with, "Tell me about yourself." And the rest of the etiquette is basically confidence, not contradicting yourself. Do not contradict yourself when you answer your questions. They will notice that. And always try to tie in an experience that you've had with something. So let's say,
could you make it about like a funny experience that you had?
Yeah.
Make it make it not sound so.
It can be funny. It can be, as long as you can. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. Me and my team, we got in this big argument, and tell how you got over that argument. It could be something about the time where you all handled an experience awesomely. It doesn't have to be you handled the situation bad and you got over it. You could say, "I handled the situation awesomely and we did it very well because of the fact that our team skills worked out." But they could possibly ask you, like, what could have you improved, and that's always nice to be prepared.
So, being that it says that you need 10 copies of your cover letter, do you need 10 copies of your resume?
Yes.
Do they all have to be on resume paper?
I always have them on resume paper. It's not required, but I always have.
Okay.
Do you guys have any questions about anything? Okay. Well, good job today.
Living to serve. It's the legacy we.
What's your greatest weakness?
My greatest weakness is that I'm not very good at math, and my brain doesn't work very well with the math language, but that's taught me how to translate the numbers and equations from the numbers into what my brain can understand, and it's really taught me how to study.
What is your greatest strength?
My greatest strength is that I've worked with horses my entire life, so that I'll be highly qualified for this position, and you won't have to teach me much about it because I already have past experiences with it.
Future is our choice with might, all out, and lead by sharing our voice. We give all out with passion for what we believe. We live all out. There's no limit to what we can achieve.
for the past 2 months or so, I've been volunteering at Medical Lake High School at their Medical Lake FFA chapter. And there were a couple things that really blew my mind about it. I was in FFA when I was in high school, and I had a different advisor than they had most of the students in there have. My freshman and sophomore year, I had a wonderful advisor, and he really worked hard to show us that we are capable of keeping this chapter going. And when he told us our sophomore year that he was retiring, they set us up with a wonderful advisor, and she had to start from the bottom. She had no clue how to necessarily be an ag advisor. She was a science teacher, and she started from the bottom. But she blossomed. It was so cool to go back there and see the difference from between her first year there as my advisor in my junior year of high school, and then to see now how she controls the classroom differently, how the students interact differently, how the chapter itself has turned into this family that reminds me of what it should be. There was one student in particular who I just was shocked by altogether. I'm going to keep this student anonymous, but she was a freshman when I was a junior in high school, or a sophomore. I think a junior, actually. And this girl was probably the quietest girl you'd ever meet in your entire life. She didn't really talk much. She wasn't really outgoing. She was a very, very nice girl. She just didn't have that bubbly, outgoing personality. She had social anxiety, and she really felt that it was a hard thing for her to break out of that shell. And when I was in high school, she told me about a lot of the things that she struggled with, and how people don't like her is what she felt. And that just broke my heart, hearing that when I was in high school. So when I went back, it was so cool, because this girl has just transformed. She has turned into this lively, outgoing, just welcoming person to everyone. She makes jokes about things. She tries to help others through their day in any way she can. And that just truly inspires me, because it showed me that somebody who really struggles with social anxiety every day of her life, and still struggles with it, is capable of controlling it and blossoming to this person that she probably never thought was capable. I am really, really excited to see how this girl in particular does on her competition. They compete next week, and I really hope that the hard work is paid off, because they all deserve that ribbon, or that first place, but that can't happen. And I really hope the work has been paying off, and I can't wait to start volunteering more, because I forgot how wonderful and amazing this organization is. It brought me back to family, and how wonderful it is to have people there for you when you may not have people at home, because that's what a lot of those students are going through. And I think it's just, if I can make a difference in a couple high schoolers' lives, I would love to do that, because high school was not an easy time for me. So I'm really excited to see where this chapter goes and how far they go in this future, because it's going to be wonderful to see.